Andrew has had some great guests for his Tech Talk at 3 Zoom sessions on a Thursday. Here is an edited roundup for you.
Galloway's presents Tech Talk at 3 with Dr. Simone Stumpf from the Orbit Project.
I'm interested in particular is accessibility and also AI, and in this project the two really combine. So I wanted to give you an overview of what the project is about, what we're actually doing, what AI is capable of, and then also give you an update of how far we've got and what we're doing next. What we are dealing with is what is called object recognition that relies on computer vision technology. So it's essentially the computer seeing something or identifying something and then using algorithms, AI algorithms, to identify what that object is, and then you can use that in applications. So that is the area that we're dealing with. So recognizing objects by the computer. And the way that usually works is that these algorithms that detect or recognize objects are built on data sets. And these data sets are huge. So ImageNet, which is used by a lot of algorithms to develop these computer vision algorithms, that contains over 14 million pictures, right? So, and those pictures are contributed mainly by sighted people. So they might submit one or two pictures, or you have some super users, as we usually call them, or super contributors, who take hundreds of pictures, right, of objects. And they get stored in this database. They're labeled. So the image says, okay, this is an image of a cup, right? And then a computer algorithm can be developed that recognizes cups or whatever is in that database, right? And once these algorithms are developed, you can build them into apps like Seeing AI, right?
So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Tech Talk at 3. It's Andrew, your assistive tech coordinator from Galloway's, and really pleased to be joined this afternoon by Sylvia from Jumpy Cat, which is an accessible fitness app that you can download to your iPhone on iOS. And it's great to have you with us, Sylvia. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Andrew. It's great to be here. I hope that everyone will be inspired to give it a try, even if you are not into fitness per se, or have not been exercising for a long time, that maybe you will consider giving the app a try and giving some of the exercises a try, even if you're a complete beginner.
You might even want to give it a go, today while you're doing the demo. We can all join in.
Should we do a quick demo then?
Absolutely, yeah, that'd be great. Let's have a little listen to how it works.
Squats. Instructions. Start from a narrow stance. Breathe out, push your butt behind you, then bend your knees to lower into a squat. Still in the squat, slowly lift your heels off the ground as high as you can. Hold, then inhale and lower your heels back down. Raise your hips back to standing. Let's start with our warm-up. First one's calf raise squat.
So that's those instructions for those ones.
Just a bit longer.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So it's telling you how long you've got left to go.
Yeah, so it will tell you if you need to switch to the other side for exercises like...
Last seconds.
Okay, everyone. So welcome to Galloway's Tech Talk at 3. It's Andrew here from Galloway's. Really pleased today to be joined by Paul Porter from RNIB Reading Services. Hiya, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Hello, everyone.
It's great to have you on board today. We've got a good group of people on here who are all, I imagine, avid book readers. They like the talking books, they like the Braille books. And RNIB have done some great things, certainly over the last couple of years, to improve talking books for people and improve reading services.
And for me, reading is a passion. You know, I've always got 2 or 3 books on the go at any one time. You know, loved talking books as a kid, loved Braille as a kid. Back in 2000, I joined Audible, which was at the time based in the US. With the introduction of the Kindle app and Apple's Books app, that was a game changer, because you know, from one day to the next, I could access thousands, if not millions, of books on my, you know, my iPhone or my tablet, and then laterally on Amazon Alexa. So, you know, for me, it's still a joy to, you know, someone might recommend a book, or you hear about a book on the radio or reviewed on TV. You think, yeah, I really want to read that one. And chances are it's going to be available through RNIB or through something like Audible or, you know, Amazon or Google or Apple. That book's going to be available for me to read either, you know, with great human narration, or with you know, your device's own built-in speech, or indeed now with Braille displays and so on. So, you know, getting access to books and information is just so much easier than it was even 10 years ago, but certainly 30, 40 years ago. You know, it's a completely different landscape now. So, you know, just, you know, getting access to newspapers, getting access to information on the internet. You know, I think we all kind of probably take it for granted now, but it's still a great buzz to be able to access a book, you know, at the same time as everybody else, you know, whether you're visually impaired or not.
Galloway's presents Tech Talk at 3. Supersense with Shane Lowe.
So Supersense is an app released on iOS and Android. You can use it on iPhones and iPads as well, if you'd like. The Android version actually came out first. It came out last year in 2019. And the spearhead features there, the main features that the Android version had, were the Explore and Find features. And the way that those work is you would use your phone's camera, the back camera on your phone, to scan the area that you're in. And anytime that it passed over an item that the computer could recognize, it could recognize 600 items now, I think, 600 different types. It would tell you what it is. So if it passed over your desk, it would tell you a desk. Or if it passed a chair, it would say that's a chair. Or it, you know, it could find doorways, it could find people. And so you could use your camera to scan your vicinity and find anything in your area. And then the next logical step was looking for something specific, the find feature. So we made it so that you could select something specific. You know, if you're just trying to find the door, if you want to leave somewhere, like, you know, like if I'm boring and you want to look for the door to get out of here, you can select door in the find menu, and it'll beep whenever your camera passes a doorway. So you can walk toward the doorway and you can get the hell out if you want.
Galloway's presents Tech Talk at 3 with Gavin Neate from Neatebox.
But then in 2009, and this might come as a little bit of a shock to you, in 2009, as a guide dog mobility instructor, I invented the world's first pedestrian crossing operated by smartphones. The best way to describe that currently is you stand next to a pedestrian crossing, you press the button, the audible signal comes on, and you happily cross the road. Well, that's the theory. And if you wouldn't mind for a second, I want you to be thinking about this from the point of view of not just blind and visually impaired people, but I want you to be thinking about mobility scooter users, wheelchair users, people with walking frames, elderly people, people with Parkinson's, people with OCD, people who don't want to press buttons physically, which I'm fairly certain that's all of us these days. Well, I was in a situation where I suddenly realized that pressing the button at pedestrian crossings was difficult for everybody. So I invented a little bit of hardware. You put that hardware into the pedestrian crossing and it makes the pedestrian crossing respond to you standing next to it, running an app on your phone. And that was invented in 2009 and it was called Button App. But I was then thinking, I wonder how else I could use this technology. And then I thought, well, if I could press the button at a pedestrian crossing, I can press the button at a door. And then I had a little bit of a side, my brain took a sort of side wobble, and it went, wait a second, what are the other problems that people have when they walk into a building? And I have realized over the years, watching my clients walk into shops, that one of the biggest problems they have is not necessarily the building itself, but how the person inside the building interacted with them. When was the last time you walked into a shop that you hadn't been before and the person introduced themselves? And I just thought, well, if people aren't doing something so simple as saying, hello, my name is Michael, I'm the customer service representative, what other things don't they do? Imagine you have a hearing impairment. Do they make sure there isn't a light source behind you so that you can lip read? Are you a wheelchair user? Do they touch your wheelchair or your mobility aid? Are you somebody who has dyslexia and they just ignore that and hand you a notepad and pen to write things down if you're in a hospital or a health center? And I just thought, the information we give customer service representatives is just not fit for purpose. They do not know how to interact with people. And the only thing we ever say when we get bad service is they need better staff training. Traditional staff training does not work, because if you train somebody how to interact and they don't meet somebody for 6 months, there's a very good chance they've forgotten. So I just thought, well, wouldn't it be good if I could train people based on my proximity as a disabled person walking towards that shop? What if when I got close to that shop, they got a message to say who was just about to walk through the door and how best to serve them?
If you would like to listen to the full sessions, you can visit our Galloway's Blind YouTube channel, join our Galloway's Technology group on Facebook, or email andrew.coleman@galloways.org.uk.